Hello everyone. Today our topic is Central Civil Services Conduct Rules 1964, Rule number 18A. Restrictions in relation to acquisition and disposal of immovable property outside India and transactions with foreigners, etc. Notwithstanding anything contained in Subrule 2 of Rule 18, no government shall, except with the previous sanction of the prescribed authority, acquire by purchase, mortgage, lease, gift, or otherwise, either in his own name or in the name of any member of his family, or any immobile property situated outside India. Means a government servant cannot do the following without obtaining prior sanction from the prescribed authority, which are: he cannot acquire any immobile property located outside India without prior permission. This applies whether property is in his or her own name or in the name of any family members. Okay. Dispose of by sale, mortgage, gift, or otherwise, or grant any lease in respect of any immovable property situated outside India which was acquired or is held by him either in his name or in the name of any member of his family. A government servant cannot sell, mortgage, gift, lease, or otherwise dispose of any immovable property outside India without prior permission. Enter into any transaction with any foreigner or foreign government, foreign organization, or concern for the acquisition by purchase, mortgage, lease, gift, or otherwise, either in his own name or in the name of any member of his family, or any immobile property, for the disposal of by sale, mortgage, gift, or otherwise, or the grant of any lease in respect of any immobile property which was acquired or is held by him either in his own name or in the name of member of his family. Means a government servant cannot enter into property transactions with foreign citizen, foreign government, foreign organization or company or concern without prior permission. These include acquiring and disposing of property too. Okay, this rule is all about the relation to acquisition and disposal of immovable property outside India and transactions with the foreigners. Coming to the rule number 19, vindication of acts and the character of government servant. Okay. No government servant shall, except with the previous sanction of any government, have recourse to any court or to the press or the vindication of any official act which has been the subject matter of adverse criticism or an attack of a defamatory character. Means if the issue is about official work. Suppose a government servant did some work as a part of his or official duty, someone criticizes or defames that work, provided that if no such action is received by the government servant within a period of 3 months from the date of receipt of his request by the government, he shall be free to assume that the permission as sought for has been granted to him. Means the government servant cannot directly go to the court or give statements to the press. First, he or she must give permission from the government. If the government does not reply within 3 months, it is treated as permission being granted. Okay. Nothing in Coming to the point number 2, nothing in this rule shall be deemed to prohibit a government servant from vindicating his private character or any act done by him in his private capacity, and where any action for vindicating his private character or any act done by him in private capacity is taken, the government servant shall submit a report to the prescribed authority regarding such action. Means if the issue is about personal life, suppose someone insults or defames a government servant personally, which is not related to the official duty, For example, like family dispute, property dispute, personal defamation, the government servant can directly go to the court. But after filing the case, he or she must inform the prescribed authority. So, this rule tells about if the issue is about the official work, he should take permission from the government, and within 3 months, if the reply is not does not come from the government, he it is treated as permission been granted. If the issue is about personal life, he can directly go to the court. Okay. Rule number 20. Canvassing of non-official or other outside influence means no government shall bring or attempt to bring any political or other outside influence to bear upon any superior authority to further his interests in respect of matters pertaining to his service under the government. Means a government servant should not use any political leader or any outside person to get personal benefits in service matters. For example, if a government servant wants promotion, transfer, posting, or leave, or disciplinary leave, he or she should not ask a politician, an influential person, or any outside organization to pressure the higher authority. Okay, the government should follow the official procedure only. Rule number 21. Restriction regarding marriage. No government servant shall enter into contract marriage with a person having spouse living, and no government servant having a spouse living shall enter into or contract a marriage with any person, provided that the central government may permit a government servant to enter into or contract any such marriage is referred to in a clause 1 or 2 if it is satisfied that such marriage is permissible and the personal law applicable to such a government servant and the other party to the marriage, and there are other grounds for so doing. A government servant who has married or marries a person other than of Indian nationality shall forthwith intimate the fact to the government. Means a government servant cannot enter into the second marriage while a spouse is living or marry a person whose spouse is living except with central government permission where permitted by personal law. Marriage to a foreign national must be immediately reported to the government. Okay. Rule number 22. Consumption of intoxicating drinks and drugs. A government servant shall strictly abide by any law relating to intoxicating drinks or drugs in force in any area which he may happen to be for the time being. Means this rule tells about the government servants how they should behave regarding alcohol and drugs. Government servant must obey all the laws related to alcohol and drugs wherever he or she is staying or working, and not be under influence of any intoxicating drink or drug during the course of his duty, and shall also take due care that the performance of his duties at any time is not affected in any way by the influence of such drink or drug. Means a government servant must not be under the influence of any alcohol or drugs while on duty. Also, alcohol or drugs must not affect the performance of official duties at any time. Refrain from consuming any intoxicating drink or drug in a public place. Means a government servant must not consume alcohol or drugs in public place. Which what is meant by public place here? Any place where the public is allowed to enter, whether free or by paying money. That is the meaning of public place here. This aspect. Not appear in the public place in the state of intoxication means government servant must not appear in public place in drunken or intoxicated condition, and not use any intoxicating drink or drug to excess. Government servant must not use alcohol or drugs excessively, even in private. The rule expects the government servant to maintain self control and good conduct. Here, he explained what is meant by a public place means any place or premises including a conveyance to which the public have or are permitted to have access whether on payment or otherwise. Means any place where public is allowed to enter whether free or by paying money. Rule number 22A. A prohibition regarding employment of children below 14 years of age. No government servant shall employ to work any child below the age of 14 years. Means no government servant shall employ to work any child less than 14 years of age. Rule number 23. Interpretation. If any question arises relating to the interpretation of these rules, it shall be referred to the government whose decision thereon shall be final. Means, if there is any doubt or confusion or dispute about the meaning of any rule, the matter should be referred to the government. The government's decision will be final and binding. Rule number 24. Delegation of powers. The government servant may, by general or special order, direct that any power exercisable by it or any head of the department under these rules, except the powers under Rule 23 and this rule, shall, subject to such conditions, if any, as may be specified in the order, be exercisable also by such officer or authority as may be specified in the order. Means the government may delegate most powers under CCS conduct rules to any other officer or another officer or authority by general or special order, subject to the conditions except the powers under Rule 23 and Rule 24. So these two rules cannot be given to any other officer or any authority. These two rules are under the control of only the government itself. Repeal. Rule number 25, repeal and saving. Any rules corresponding to these rules in force immediately before the commencement of these rules and applicable to the government servants to whom these rules apply are hereby repealed. Means this rule tells what happens to the old conduct rules after new CCS conduct rules came into force. Repeal mean here cancelled. Okay. When the CCS conduct rules 1964 came into force, any old conduct rules that apply to government servants were cancelled, provided that any order made or action taken under those rules so repealed shall be deemed to have been made or taken under the corresponding provisions of these rules. Means even though the old rules are cancelled, any orders issued or actions taken under old rules are still valid. They are treated as if they were made under new CCS conduct rules. Provided further that such repeal shall not affect the previous operation of the rules so repealed, and the contravention of any of the said rules shall be punishable as if it were a contravention of these rules. Means if a government servant violated the old rules before they were repealed, means cancelled, the violation does not disappear. He will still be punished as if the violation is under the new rules. Okay. So, rule number 25 is saying about what happens to the old conduct rules after the new CCS conduct rules came into force. So, with this rule number 25, our CCS conduct rules is completed.